Hello everyone and welcome to my desk once more. Today what we're gonna do is actually to test out the emulation of the Galaxy S24 Plus. I was thinking of doing the Ultra first, but I'm more interested in the performance of the Exynos 2400 that is found in this phone. So again, if anyone doubts that this is using the Exynos chip, here it is. Take a good look, it's Exynos 2400. So I did install a few emulators. So I have this, it's called Play with an exclamation mark. I have never heard of this emulator before, but it is for PlayStation 2. And then Dolphin emulator and Yuzu, and also Citra. I don't know why Citra didn't go inside the gaming hub, but whatever. I downloaded all of these emulators from the Google Play Store. I know they have a lot of spin-off version of their emulators on GitHub. I'm not gonna touch that. So I'm just gonna do a baseline of what you're gonna get if you just download everything from the Google Play Store, because yeah, GitHub, there are a lot of different versions. Some of them are created by some other people, some of them are supported by the community and all of those stuff. So yeah, I don't want to touch that. And then I'm gonna pair this phone with my Xbox One controller. Okay, so once I paired the controller, it told me to install Game Pass. I don't know if this works because I do have Game Pass subscription. Okay, alright, Game Pass doesn't work. It will still need me to install the games on PC first before I can stream remotely through Wi-Fi to the phone and play with this controller. But I don't have the, what is that called again? The Game Pass Unlimited? Yeah, I don't have Game Pass Ultimate, so I cannot use the cloud streaming feature. But anyway, we're here for emulators. So you know what? We will start with Yuzu, the heaviest hitter of them all. I'm not gonna show you how to set up all of this stuff because if you know, then you know. So what I'm gonna do now is to, yes, custom driver not supported. This is a big problem and we can only use the system GPU driver. This is gonna be a problem for Exynos because the phone is so new, the chipset is so new that I don't think any developers get their hand on this phone yet. And they really don't have the SDK. Is that the SDK? I don't know what's it called, but they don't have access to this chip, so they don't know how to optimize for this chip yet. Maybe in time they will be able to optimize it, I don't know. I will also enable docked mode, and graphics, I'm just gonna leave everything at default. So I have Tears of the Kingdom here. I've actually finished playing it on my PC via emulation, but I just bring forth the ROM here, and as you can see, this file here, you should just ignore it. This is actually the, what's that called again? The update. Yes, the patch for the game. So what I'm gonna do is just directly launch it. So as far as I know, you do have all of these buttons on the screen, but there is no button remapping feature when you connect it to a controller like this. I will have to reconfigure my view because currently I think the view is a bit awkward.
We've been descending for a while now. These tunnels are deeper than I thought. What could be down here?
Oh, this is gonna be difficult because usually the jump button is this. Okay, never mind. We are getting a lot of frame drops. I don't know if it's building the cache, the shader cache. Maybe it is, I'm not quite sure. Okay, so there is an FPS counter. We will enable this and then we will also toggle controls because I don't want to see it. And we should just continue testing. Remember, we did enable dock mode, which I think is quite a bad idea. Remember, we did enable dock mode, which I think will definitely cause a bit more issue in terms of the performance, because dock mode means it's considered a high power mode for the Nintendo Switch. So I think we should disable docked mode. So let me just do that real quick. Turn off. Oh, we can do it on the fly. We don't even have to restart the game. Is it? Let's just continue. I think it is indeed building cache, just like the desktop version of Yuzu, because once the animation has at least played once, the movement is smooth. Just now you can see when we got on this lily pad, it was lagging like mad, but now whatever lily pad that we go on to, it's smoother than before. So yes, I think it is building the shader cache. And once the shader cache has been built, it's actually performing quite well. I know. Ouch. This is the longest lasting tablet ever. Imagine the tablet has been there for how many eons, and yet it still works. I'm gonna save and reload the entire Yuzu just to see how things go. So Yuzu, where's Yuzu? Yeah, there we go. There's shaders. So yes, it did cache the shader to ensure the performance is gonna be better when the same animation happens the next time. Okay, why can't I launch the game now? Is it crashing or what? Doesn't seem to be working. Okay, that doesn't work as well. I'm not sure what's happening. I mean, I'm unfamiliar with Yuzu on Android, so I don't even know what happened. Can I clear the cache? That's the problem. Open Yuzu folder, select shader. Okay. There we go. We can select delete. What the hell? There's no delete button. There we go. We have to go inside. We cannot just delete the folder itself. We have to delete individual items. Fine. Now it's gone. We should be able to launch the game once more. Okay, there we go, finally. Okay, so remember we're using it in absolutely default mode. Docked mode is turned off and the cache has just been flushed. So we will be getting some lags because it's the first time moving again. We will have to save it as a cache. Okay. What are those squares? Okay, there's definitely a lot of graphical glitches. Oh god. It won't be running at 30 FPS consistently even though the shader cache has been built for running around the grass area here, so we're getting about 20 something FPS. I think this is the absolute maximum frame rate that we can get, and it is already thermal throttling, so we are getting fluctuating frame rates. So I don't know if this is good or not, but it is using Vulkan API and there's no custom driver yet. There is the bug that we have discovered earlier, as we cannot load the shader cache when we restart the game. Let's just do that once more. I should save, right? Not like I'm gonna play it on this phone anyway, but it's still a good practice. So, exit emulation. And then we should just try relaunching. Okay, so if there's any shader cache, then I don't think this game will work. So I'm not sure if it's a game issue or the emulator issue, but either way, that's what I found out. So let's move on to the next emulator. You know what, let's just try something simpler. PS2 emulator. I have not even set this up yet, so let me add the folder called Emulation because I just want to do things that way. It's a temporary folder. I have two games here, God of War 2 and also Ratchet & Clank. Ratchet & Clank is kind of like my childhood game. I really like it. I'm not sure if the buttons are mapped. Oh, okay, it works. The color is definitely not correct. I don't know why it's so washed out. This is a bit too loud. Yeah, the colors are definitely wrong. Let me see if I can do anything about it, because currently it's just not correct. Okay, we'll do that. OpenGL, no wonder, we need Vulkan, and then we need to restart the emulator. So, okay, we'll do that. Oh, Vulkan doesn't work. You know what, we'll try this emulator, because the play exclamation mark, I just think that it's quite buggy. I don't know why it just doesn't work with Vulkan. Okay, so we should also change the renderer to Vulkan. I'm not sure how well it plays with Vulkan, but we'll try. This is a lot smoother than what we got just now from that Play emulator. I mean, granted the Play emulator is using OpenGL, but when we switched to Vulkan, it was just totally black screen. This is super smooth. See, there's no graphical error as well. There's no weird whitewashed out thing.
Press and hold the R1 button to crouch. Press X while crouching to do a high jump.
Without controller, it's just very clunky to play this game. Oh God.
Press and hold the L1 button to enter first-person mode. Aim and fire at the target on the gate to open it.
I can't aim. I don't have the right stick. If you know how to get the controller working with this emulator, the Aether SX2 emulator, I don't know what's the name, then yeah, this runs really well. I will exit and then run the game once more just to show you that it is actually working. Ratchet and Clank. How well this works though. I mean, PS2 is considered really old at this point, but it's still nice to see that this phone can emulate it, even though there is zero optimization for this GPU in particular. Yeah, we are getting 30 FPS quite consistently, so not a problem there. Yeah, let's jump to the next one. What's that thing called again? Dolphin. For Dolphin, I don't really have any games. I just have what's it called again? The Thousand Year Door. Okay, so I'm just gonna simply do some key remapping. I don't really know how to remap the GameCube controller with all of these modern controllers. It's just weird. We should also change the graphics settings, backend change to Vulkan, because Vulkan API with AMD GPU is actually working really well. Okay. Actually, that ship flipping motion there, it also lagged on my desktop, so I'm not sure if that's a very demanding thing for a emulator to do or what, but yeah, that's something that happens. Okay, so far we're still getting consistent frame rate, no problems at all, which again is surprising or not so surprising because this game is old. It's not gonna be as heavy in terms of its demand, in terms of graphical processing demand, I mean. And we are using in Vulkan API, which is supposedly better for Samsung phones because they have been optimizing for Vulkan API for quite some time. And the Xclipse 940 GPU in this phone, I think, yeah, the Exynos 2400 is using an AMD RDNA 3 GPU, and this GPU is just powerful. And as you can see here, raw Vulkan performance through that GPU, it's good. Honestly speaking, I am looking forward to the remake of the Thousand Year Door because it was announced in one of the Nintendo Direct recently. Yeah, I'm not gonna further play this game on an emulator because I just like it having natively on my Switch. It's portable. That's smooth. One thing is great though, no graphical glitches. Yeah, and that means the rendering is correct. No audio glitches as well, so no lags. I'm surprised. It's not even an optimized chipset for this emulator and yet it runs so well. Yeah, this is the contact lens lady. Once I move, crack. Yeah, this game is just full of charm like this. Anyway, we'll just move on to the next emulator. I'll go for Citra. Now, don't judge me on my game choice. I like Cooking Mama, so I'm gonna play Cooking Mama on this device here. And I think for 3DS, we have to use these buttons because it has a lot of touchscreen stuff. It crashed. Let me look at the settings. Okay, so I'm back, and as you can see here, I have two versions of Citra. I downloaded this second version from the GitHub. This is the one, Wei Huo Ya. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I downloaded this Citra MMJ, and now it works. So don't judge me on my choice of game. I like to play Cooking Mama, so let's do it. So fun on the Ultra because you've got the S Pen that kind of emulates the stylus. Okay, 60 FPS consistent. I mean, Cooking Mama isn't exactly a demanding game, but at least it works properly. No graphical glitches, no audio glitches. even for such an unoptimized chipset technically. What? Okay, you know what? It's enough. I just don't want to play Cooking Mama anymore. I don't want you guys to get bored looking at me doing the same thing over and over again. So to conclude, in terms of emulation, I would have to say the only biggest problem that we have right now is actually Nintendo Switch emulation, Yuzu. Controller pairing is kind of iffy. Some of the emulators do work properly with external controllers, some of them don't. Maybe I'm just not familiar with emulators enough to actually make it work with a controller, but if you know how to make it work, then go on ahead. 3DS emulator works fine. The PS2 emulation works fine. I'm surprised with PS2 emulation actually. It works really well. Then what else? GameCube emulation, they work pretty fine as well. And then the only problem here is the Yuzu emulator, like what we mentioned earlier. So yeah, if you're getting even the Exynos version of the S24 Plus, emulation is gonna be somewhat okay. Just remember to use the Vulkan API for the best performance. OpenGL, it is more broadly compatible with more emulators, but somehow OpenGL is just not efficient. If you can use Vulkan, always use Vulkan. It's just more efficient and also works better with modern hardware like this. So yeah, that's it. We are still waiting for the firmware update. You know what? Let me check. Is it out yet? Still no firmware update. So yeah. Next up, I think we will also do the emulation for S24 Ultra, because might as well, right? We are doing kind of a comparison in terms of emulation anyway. So yeah, stay subscribed for that, and we'll see you guys in the next video.